When we get up in the morning, along with coffee, toast, and cake. If you're like the old Stone Roadie, you like to wake and bake. Now let's join Craig, Reed, and Griff Martin as you head out on the road. So sit right back, buckle right in. It's a Wake and Bake Morning Show. It's a Wake and Bake Morning Show. It's a Wake and Bake Morning Show. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Time to rise and shine. I'm Shelby Barrett, the Stonette for the STONED Roadie Show, and it's time to Wake and Bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
The STONED Roadie Show, podcast 190, Wake and Bake, the Morning Buzz, episode number 70, and action. Well, good morning, fellow Earthlings, and looky here. Tomorrow's the 4th of July because it's July 3rd, 2024, and welcome to another Wake and Bake this Wednesday morning. My name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stone Roadie, and this is my co-host, the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. So, hey, Griff, I have absolutely nothing to talk about here on this Wednesday morning. I've been fighting fires here for the last few days with all my computer issues, and I just had my my modem fixed here yesterday, and yeah, it's been a mess. And
well, that was a coincidence. Your modem broke right after your computer got hacked. Was that a cable thing?
Yeah. I left and came home and turned it on. Had no internet service. So I'm going, and I thought it was having to do with eBay. I got an issue with eBay, and I thought I was trying to get a hold of them, and I couldn't get a hold of them, and I thought the whole problem was them, and I realized I didn't have no internet at all. Oh, well, God, yeah.
It's true. It comes in threes. That's
and then after after I had my computer, I had all those things where everybody, I had it broke down to all where the 5 people, I had it broke down to how much they got individually, because everybody gets a different amount of money, because some people got some especially sent to them. So I made it special. I don't have a regular Excel on my PC, so there's one you can download and kind of use it, and I had it on there, and then when I got my computer back, I couldn't find it. I go, oh no, I had that whole spreadsheet laid out, and I'm going to have to do that again. And finally, I looked and searched for it, and finally I found it. I go, oh God, thank God. So yeah, so that's about all I've been dealing with here.
Yeah, that's like that one night that one day that you you went to record the podcast and you hit different button. It went in the cloud and you lost it, and you thought it was gone.
Oh yeah.
And then we said, oh well, we're just gonna have to not do one tomorrow. And then the last minute, you found one. And then the screen was all jacked up to where it was just showing you, and you talked. Whoever was talking, that's who it showed.
Yeah. If I called, I said, "Hey, Griff, for some reason it's not in my documents. I don't know where it is." And I guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna do another one. And Griff's going,
Yeah. Craig, he changed his weed.
I'm going, I don't really want to do another one. And then he said, I'll just put up another best of. And then I looked in my mail, and it said, you got mail in your, you got a file in your mail. I looked in that. That's what it was. So yeah, it came up different though. It came up when I was talking. It was only me, and when Griff was talking, it was only him. Some people liked it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it is definitely different. Did you change your weed or something recently? Because it might be the weed, it might be the new weed that's getting you.
Oh, yeah, the morning bud. No, 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 no. I
Yeah,
still got
didn't
the
get a new
same.
brand of indica or something.
No, no.
Yeah,
I've had this one for a little bit. Yeah.
because first it was you hit the wrong button, and then you got that scammer that got you, and now it's the modem. So I think you're done now. That's three.
Oh,
That's
I don't
three.
know. It's hard to tell. Maybe it's something to do with this new sun. You know, we don't have a real sun anymore. We have some kind of a prescription. Boy, there's some weird stuff going on. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on about Australia, or not Australia. God, the South Pole. Yeah, what do they call that? Antarctica. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff being but going on down there. What the hell's going on in Antarctica? They said. There's some weird things
Well,
happening.
that's part of that firmament thing, where you got the dome over the earth and the earth is flat and people are starting to believe it. And there's educated scholars that believe that. So, I don't know, man. It's almost like I don't want to know
Well, it was
anymore.
like a couple years ago. I was convinced that we went to the moon, but now I'm convinced we didn't.
No,
There
I
was
know.
it's like what are all those air bubbles when they're doing these spacewalks? You can see all these air bubbles coming up with us.
But I will tell you this, I've seen the satellites before while they were building them and while they were servicing the satellites, and I even helped load them into the space shuttle, so I know there's space, but I don't know if there's a
Well, you
dome and
didn't
you
see
can only
that. You
go
didn't
so
see that.
far.
You didn't see the vehicle that landed on the moon because they said that thing was made out of paper mache, man.
Well, they had one that they built that they drove around in the desert here. It was real, but I don't think they ever.
They
Yeah,
said that they said the one that's on the moon. There was pictures on the moon. It was built out of tin foil and all kind of weird stuff. Yeah. So
yeah, they had. I think they had that thing at the Space Center one day. Like they brought it on tour, and it was a piece of shit. It was. It was just like it was just made out of like a look. I think it was aluminum, and but yeah, I mean the batteries for that thing had to be big and heavy. But if you ever walked up beside that Saturn, if anybody's ever seen that Saturn rocket, they've got one at Kennedy Space Center in the museum, and they also have one in Houston. That thing is huge. It's just unbelievable how big it is. It's huge. It's
Hey, what was that? Oh God. Oh yeah, they said NASA. NASA kind of started in like I don't know when it started, but they said in 1958 their big thing was exploring the ocean, and they only did it for a year. And it was like Musk said, I don't know what they found, but whatever they found they didn't like, and they switched gears for outer space, and it said it was weird. It was almost a decade to the day that they went to the moon after they quit quit exploring the ocean. We've only explored 5% of the ocean. Man, there's a lot of stuff in the ocean, man.
there. Maybe there's some stuff in there that would freak you out if you knew it was in there.
Yeah, hard to say.
Yeah, I
Wouldn't
mean
freak
it's
me out.
miles and miles deep.
I
It's
don't think
pretty
there's
pretty
anything that
damn
would
deep.
surprise me anymore. It's
Like
seems like
that.
that everything we know that you think we know never happened. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's getting weird. Well, we don't have a whole lot of Leonard Skinner stuff to talk about, so Craig, so I think we're gonna have to talk about fat people today. I don't know, man.
Well, you know what? I think it's odd that we're supposed to have 2,180 subscribers, basically, and we had like 2,160 like months ago. It's like we've just kind of stalled. But what's really weird is we've only got like what 186 registered people in the drawing, and that's kind of lame for having 2,180 subscribers. We're giving shit away. I mean, it's just shit, but we're giving it away, and it just seems like, people want free shit, man. It seems like people would at least send in an email to get free shit, but it's like less than 10% of people on, that are in the drawing. It doesn't make sense. We got 2,180 subscribers and only 100.
And then in the comments, every now and then you'll get a new person commenting, but usually it's the same people commenting, which is kind of cool. But I think they're limiting our views to, just like Facebook does. I think they're limiting us because they don't like our content.
Now that I got this list of all the 186 people in the drawing, it's like I almost know just about every one of them, or know the name, whatever. There's been a couple we've had in the drawings. We've had a couple of people that had an odd name that we weren't familiar with, but Jack West, Jiminy Christmas, he won your giveaway. He won your giveaway, and then he won last week. Isn't that weird?
That guy's, he needs to go get a lottery ticket.
And then his wife was the number 15, and she was the one that we called out by mistake, and she won. So
my God,
wife have won 3 things off of this. So Jack, you're doing pretty good. You're winning a lot of stupid shit,
Yeah, he's go get a lottery ticket. Yeah,
you'll be able to start a band with all the kazoos.
But that stuff that you're sending, that stuff is worth money.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
A coin that came off the airplane that crashed with a letter of authenticity.
Cool.
And then you got and just your signature on something is makes it cool. And then just so people know, I'm going to be sending this pipe to Craig here in the next few days. It's all ready to go. It's done. And it's leak checked, and you can smoke out of it, and Craig's going to get it. And he's going to send me that other one back. But one of them we're just going to give away. The other one we're going to give to whoever names both the bongs, just so you know what's going on. And so we're getting a lot of bong names.
We're getting a bunch of bong names.
But they're coming from everywhere. The only official place to do it is to thestonedroadie@gmail.com. That's where you have to send your bong name. And so speaking of something that's worth something, I was down at the head shop the other day, and because I wanted to talk to this guy about what he thinks about selling these, and I told him about Craig Reed and Lynyrd Skynyrd, and he said with a signature on this thing, Craig's signature on it with a letter of authenticity, he said that thing could go as high as $500.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's not smoked out of. But the one that we're sending out is going to be smoked out of by the Stone Roadie. So that's the second best thing to smoking a joint with Craig, is to get in a pipe that he smoked out of. Yeah, and that, those are kind of like unique giveaways too, man. A handmade pipe that you can, and then all your relatives can come over and go, "Why the hell do you have a pipe over there? You smoking weed? It looks like it's smoked out of."
My forehead and my eye is still itching for when that wasp bit me. He bit me right here.
Yeah, it looks a little red.
Oh God, it's still itching.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we were talking earlier about how you got hacked. And there's a group of people that are attacking those people that are going after, preying on the American citizens. And I think there's more and more of them now that they've got over here from, being immigrants and stuff. They don't have anything. So, I mean, they're actually, I think they're scamming people. More and more people are scamming, because I've been noticing, I've been getting like a lot of emails, scamming emails. It's all up. It's up really high right now. It's got to be these immigrants. But this cool group of people, they catch the scammers, and it's called the People's Call Center. It's on YouTube. So if you go on there, and what they do is they set them up, and like they'll say they're going to deliver some money to these scammers, and then they'll meet them, and then they'll catch them, or they get onto the internet, and they get into their computer, and they start deleting their files and jacking them up, and it's pretty good. If you ever wanted to get revenge on these scammers that are doing all the scamming, watch that, the People's Call Center. That's pretty good. And then Craig, we're gonna have Brandon Miller on Friday. He's
cool.
Yeah, he's doing something. He wants to talk about some stuff that he's doing. He's got the band Slicks and Revolver, and where was it they were going out in California, Craig? They were going to perform somewhere.
Oh, they were going to the Whiskey A Go Go.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't do that?
I don't think it's time yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know.
They were
what he's up
to. I think they were supposed to be here in Youngstown last week. It was last week. They were supposed to play at a biker thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me and Automotive was going to ride motorcycles over there, and it got rained out. It didn't happen.
Oh, I wonder if
Youngstown's only 2 hours from me.
Yeah, I used to go to Youngstown back in the day.
Probably not even 2 hours.
Yeah, so he's going to come on, and he's got some stuff he wants to talk about, and then a lot of people ask him when we're going to have Sally Arnold back, and it's going to be soon. I'm kind of going through her book. If anybody's interested her book is really good. You can just Google Sally Arnold, and you'll see her website. But yeah, it's kind of like a tell-all book, really. I mean, it goes into some pretty technical stuff that, I think more if you're English, you'll understand better. But some of the stuff that I'm reading through is she was connected to some like dealing with royalty and things like that. She, like you said, Craig, she knew Lady Lambton.
Yeah, she got involved. She got involved with a lot of the royal families. Yeah, and yeah, my picture's on Wayne 75 too.
Yeah, and Craig, didn't you tell me that we've
that makes me more even more of the most famous roadie alive that ever existed. Hell, I'm in about 5 books now.
Yeah, that's another book you're in.
Yeah, man, shoot.
And then we're working on getting you. Otto's working on getting you in Wikipedia.
Yeah, he's working. I think I'm in 7 books, I think, just right off the top of my head. I think at least.
I think that's one of the things that is a requirement of Wikipedia. You have to be published somehow.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Which,
all you got to type in is Craig Reed on YouTube, man. I'm the most famous Craig Reed ever. I'm the most famous person in green. I'm a legend in my own mind and in my spare time.
That rebel flag you got back there, is that a historical Skynyrd flag of any kind, or is that just one that you bought?
No, it's just an image I pulled off.
Just a picture?
Yeah.
I know it's a picture, but did you take the picture with your camera? You got it?
No, I didn't take it. I don't know where I got that picture.
And
I just thought that was appropriate, being, tomorrow's the 4th of July.
That's the one that was Cousin Figel's, wasn't it?
That's Cousin Figel's,
yeah.
He got $600 out of that. So.
Yeah, he got $600 out of that. And then you said that you sold the police record, the police report for Ronnie.
Yeah,
Which,
110. Yeah, that went for
yeah,
110.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he gets a band drawing and a Hell House poster
Well, I haven't got
goes
the
with it.
money yet, but damn mail takes forever. I mean,
Yeah, it sure
shit,
does.
it takes 2-3 weeks to get here. So,
Um, yeah, another thing that I was watching on YouTube, um, there's a guy he interviews like a lot of Southern rockers, um,
who
like
does?
Carlisi, he knows and he had Rodney Mills on. It's everyonelovesguitar.com. And I was kind of scrolling around through there and that Rodney Mills came up. He was involved with that Studio One. Did you know him, Craig?
Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah,
You know
man.
Rodney Mills?
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, did you work with him?
I
I
did.
mean,
I was only a roadie, so roadies ain't got much to do with recording
no,
studios.
you don't like go in there and help them set
Setting
all their
shit
shit
up.
up, their
No,
amps.
I have nothing to do with the songwriting or nothing like that. No.
No, but like when we went
Oh, I
and
would sit in the. I'd sit in the control room a lot. I was always in the control room and stuff and watch. Yeah, I witness a lot of stuff, but I don't. Yeah, I didn't have anything.
whenever Skynyrd went into the studio, like whenever Zach and when I was watching them record, they didn't even take their amps in there or anything. They used their amps. Did Skynyrd do that? Did they
No,
take?
they for Street Survivors they used PV artists.
But was it their amps that
those little
they played with?
single 12-inch cabinets? Yeah.
Was that special for recording, or did they use that
The
on the
PV
road too?
artist, no, it was just a little amp, just like a little, just a little amp.
Just a small little amp.
Single 12-inch speaker, yeah. It had JBL in it. It's what they all use for Street Survivors, yeah.
So they didn't really have a bunch of equipment. What about their other albums that they recorded? Did they?
Um, I don't write. I wasn't their guitar roadie for that. They just used their. I set up the drums. I was a drum roadie then, and I set up the piano and the drums and.
Were you there?
I guess I set up the
right
amps,
after
too.
Pronounce?
They were Maces. We set up Maces and Fender Twins, and we set up Marshalls and High Watts, and we set up all kind of stuff for different sounds. But you had to be careful because you had to reproduce that sound on the record. That was kind of a must. It had to sound like the record, so you had to use the same kind of. Had to get the same sound, so you kind of had to be careful, I guess.
Yeah, they were pretty known.
That seems like that in theory.
They were pretty known for being able to sound like the recording.
Yeah. Kevin Elson would be the one to ask on that one.
Yeah.
He was in the studio a lot. Kevin was a main guy for all the recordings, yeah.
Did you come?
Kevin was a live engineer. It's really good to if you could have a live engineer in there with the studio guy. In my opinion, I guess. Yeah.
Did you come after Pronounced? You were there after Pronounced.
Pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd, and then I did Second Helping. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
So they were practicing all those Second Helping songs, and you were in Hell House. They were practicing, right?
Yeah, when I went down there when I first got with them, yeah, that's what they were doing. They were writing and rehearsing in the second album, yeah.
And were they talking about, so where did they do Second Helping at?
Record Plant in LA.
The record plant? So had they already picked that place? And they were talking about
record. They didn't pick shit. You do what the record company tells you to do. You don't have a choice. The record company said,
"Yeah,
this is the studio you'll use, and Al Cooper's your producer."
So
probably Al Cooper wanted to to do it there because he's from he lived in Beverly Hills, you know, so he.
So how did it work out though, Craig? All right, you were there and they were practicing the songs. And Al Cooper never came to Hell House, did he?
No.
No. So whenever did they like do a rough cut somewhere in Jacksonville and send it to Al Cooper and then he go, yeah,
No,
these are great songs.
No, they went into the studio. They didn't really have a lot written from what I remember, or they kind of more or less wrote that album in the studio because
Really?
that's where I Need You. That's where Ed came up with the song I Need You, and that was written right there. And from what I remember, Ronnie saying that they more or less wrote that album right at the studio. Yeah.
How long were they at the studio?
Oh, it seems like only like a month or 6 weeks.
No, they had to have some songs rat holed before they went there, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, they had a couple. They didn't have a bunch, but yeah, we weren't there long because we were right on the road after that. That was January. I went down there January 1st, and I was down there by February. But I remember my birthday. I was in Hollywood for my birthday, my 22nd birthday.
So right after they got out of the studio, then they went right on the road. Was that in the United States? And then when they finished that, did they go overseas?
Yeah, right after we finished the album, we did a U.S. tour, and then, God, we were in Europe by, God, I don't, July or August. We were in Europe, so we were in the studio in January, February. And then we did March, April, May, June on the road, and then we were in.
So how did it go? Like
Europe.
when you were working for them, did you kind of like you didn't know what the hell was going on? Did they just go, okay, Craig, we're going to go on tour now and over the U.S. and you're like, okay, and then then you didn't know anything about the international, and then did they go, we're going to go overseas now? So was it kind of like a you got information as it
All
wasn't
I know is that
ahead of time.
everybody had to get vaccinated, to go overseas, and we're going to Europe. You gotta go get your shots, and yeah.
Doesn't it? But it has to kind of go by how well the album's doing before you make a decision to go overseas. So they must have.
Well,
they must
that's
have
all
said,
the record companies. That's all.
right, but
The band didn't have anything to do
but
with
I was just
it.
trying to get the feel of how the band felt.
Like Sharon Lawrence was our publicist, and she did a lot of that stuff.
But after the record, after you recorded, were the guys like going around talking about how well the record was doing? Was there like, wow, man, we're doing good? What was that like?
Not really. You just watch I don't know. You just watch the thing. I don't think at that point you don't really know how the world will accept what you've done. You think it's good, but you're just hoping other people will like it, I think.
But you can tell by the crowds at the concerts.
Well, yeah. The crowds were really doing good. Yeah. They
But because you saw them go from just playing in bars and clubs to doing huge venues.
After the Who tour, they were in a bar, did the bar thing, bars and theaters and stuff like that. Yeah, I was there right from when they played in bars right up to 500,000 people. Yeah.
So they had to be going, damn, we're doing good, man. There had to be like they were all excited about how well it was going.
But took a while. You don't really know that you're doing well until you start making a lot of money. And there in the beginning, the management was taking all the money. you know, so they, you don't really know you're doing good because you're until you get some money, you know.
Like
And
I saw an interview with Paul Simon, and he was doing all his stuff. He had more interest over in England, and he was over in England, and he cut some songs, and he kept watching this one chart. As a matter of fact, he'd have to go down to the library to get a newspaper so he could see how his song was doing on the charts. And he noticed it was in the top 13. And when he realized it was in the top 13, he was like, I just made more money than my father made in 5 years. And he was like, he couldn't believe it, you know? So when those guys started making money, you know, they had to be, you got to see that. You got to see him
oh yeah, yeah.
go from broke ass, you know,
Oh
punks
yeah.
to just had a ton of money. You got to see that. I mean, what was you know, were they different after that, or were they still the same?
They just bought more shit. You know? They bought houses and cars, you know.
But they kind of shared it too. They weren't stingy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a little bit of Skinner, kind of like cream off the top. Yeah, we can go over these comments, Craig, that from the last podcast. It's about all we can do. You know, I know the listeners. You know, what would be a good thing if the subscribers would go ahead and hit that share button. That might help. If you share it somewhere, share it to Facebook. Just share it and see what that does for us.
Yeah, something's weird. Something's weird. We're not getting our subscribers, but God, the people we do have, I'm always on the phone talking to people. It's kind of fun, all the people that I'm meeting doing that.
Well,
I get things I get people sending me rocks in the mail. I was laughing. I mean, who the hell sends people rocks?
Somebody said, well, when you
somebody
talk
at the
about
post office said, Craig, I think somebody sent you a bag of gold. That's rock. He said, who in the hell sends rocks? I'll give you a bunch of rocks. I have people mailing you rocks. So people mail me rocks from all the world. They know I collect rocks.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go over these comments and questions. But yeah, somebody said, well, you know, you don't have subscribers because you talk about fat people. Well, you know, I mean, you got to have something else to talk about.
Oh, God.
Back to the bong, the whole RLH HF 7BB. All he can do is light it in a bong.
All you can do is write it in a song.
All he can do is light it in a bong.
Oh, that's funny.
And then he starts right off on the fat bashing, and he goes, Greg says that these girls that wear these little anklet bracelets and their little tattoos on their ankles make their legs look dainty, but they think that their pixie haircut helps too, but that doesn't do anything but make them look fatter.
Oh God.
Oh God. Yes. Yeah. So
fat effort anymore. That was really stuck bad, in my opinion, you fat effers.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you got to get a little laugh out of it sometime. See, user says there are lots of fakes on Facebook running Skynyrd fan sites trying to scam people. They have names like Ahmed and Amir, and they're trying to sell T-shirts. Okay, keep a lookout for that. You know that my Hell House painting. I would get these T-shirts for Gene, and he would sell these Hell House paintings on on shirts. Well, if you go on Google and you Google Lynyrd Skynyrd Hell House t-shirt, there's about 20 or 30 people stealing that picture, putting it on shirts. That's how rude these scammers are. They're stealing my art and putting it on their shirt. Say nothing I can do about it. I mean, this says, Lynyrd Skynyrd on it, and that's probably helps. But yeah, there's some thieves out there, man. There's some thieves. We try to direct stuff like this towards the survivors, And so if anybody wants any of these posters, I've got them. You can.
Well,
I'll put up a thing where you can contact me.
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah, that's why I ain't really too upset about it. Yeah, there's a lot of people going around with my Hell House. There's a lot of people got copies of that Hell House all over the place. I've sold thousands of them.
Do you see where that Mr. Beast has got a website for gambling, and he guarantees you to win?
No, that guy's
he guarantees you to win. Yeah, he's got some kind of gambling thing. Yeah,
but he makes millions off of his channel.
Oh yeah, he's give away millions of dollars.
And he's got all these friends. He's got like about 20 friends that he hangs around with all the time. When he makes a video, and he takes all of his buddies on the jet, and it's all expenses paid wherever they go doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Let me see. Jeff, next time you have Sally on, would you ask her is she still in touch with all those rock and roll stars from back in the day? Yeah, I do have a bunch of questions I need to ask her. And that's one of them. I'm sure she talks to some.
Kenny Peden, she said she'd been friends with Kenny Peden, and I talked to Kenny before he died, and both of us talked to him, and he never indicated he had any kind of illness or anything before.
No, that's what she told me.
And when I was talking to him, he said he still was in touch with Sally, and that she hadn't been feeling well, and that some of those multi-famous rock stars that she used to know kind of
forgot about her.
Yeah, after she got ill, they kind of forgot about her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of sort of like the plane crash survivors.
Kind of.
Yeah, they got forgotten.
The forgotten survivors.
The forgotten survivors.
Yeah.
Mm.
There you go.
John Cowder. I might have butchered that, John. It might be Crowder. Sorry about that. Says, God bless Lisa. Craig's daughter-in-law. Has you heard anything on her, Craig? Is she doing all right?
No, they keep releasing her. I don't know what's going on. I don't think they have a specialist that really want to do it or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of a tricky thing to do, I guess.
Yeah. Well, prayers.
It's not
prayers
like a tumor.
Lisa.
It's a cyst. So it's it's just like poison, a bubble in her.
I would want to be getting that thing out of me, man.
Chad said it's getting bigger.
Wow.
So she's in some pain, and they just kept giving her morphine and sending her home, wanting more tests. I don't know why they're stalling.
Cheesehead, he taxed Kimmy a little bit here. Cheese says, crazy Kimmy can't get no satisfaction, but she's trying. What's that mean, Cheesehead? Picking on Kimmy. Kimmy, she's always saying something funny. Griff, when are you gonna hop on a rocket ship and start smoking some indica now that it's legal in Florida? I don't know. They sell it in Florida, but I don't think you can grow it here. You know, it's up on going up for a vote, I think, whether or not, because you can do anything you want there in Ohio, right? You can have like 3 or 4
Yeah, you
plants,
can have
Craig.
6 plants. Yeah, you can have 6 plants. Yeah, it's recreationally legal. Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody knows about that, I mean, if I didn't find out anything yet about it, but maybe it happened when I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it's getting pretty liberal everywhere. You know, I was talking about that with a buddy of mine the other day. I was saying, man, ain't that weird how if you want, you can just drive right into the marijuana store and get you a pre-rolled joint, you know? And boy, you couldn't do that back then. That was like a no.
Yeah, I
But
can smoke. I can smoke it right on the air here, but sometimes when I do, they take away our monetization, so that's not cool. So
yeah, they don't even know what it is.
so when I put up a sign in front of me, you all know what I'm doing.
Then Cheesehead says Gary and 4 Quaaludes equals severely damaged oak tree. I don't think he did anything to the oak tree. The oak tree is what did the damage to Gary. And I don't believe that oak tree's there anymore. That was over by that teen club.
Gone.
And it's been gone for a while. And then,
Yeah.
you know, Gene, he takes everybody over to this other tree and takes a piece of bark off of there and gives it to people. And then I told Gene, I said, Joe Crimp told me that that's not really the tree. And then Gene goes, I'm going to tell you something right now, buddy. And he was getting mad. He goes, if Gary Rossington hit every damn oak tree in Jacksonville since he was driving, there ain't an oak tree that's beside the road Gary Rossington didn't hit.
I think that's an exaggeration.
Sounds good though, you know, Gene. Scooter Weed. See, that's a new person there. Scooter Weed. Thanks for watching there, Scooter Weed. I don't know if you're a man or a woman. I think it's a woman. Says her bank account was emptied, and then after they emptied it, they put $4 back in.
Scammers did?
Yeah. And
Wow.
so they had to change all her account numbers.
Yeah, it sucks.
Or his or hers. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl or Scooter Weed, but welcome to the podcast. And let me see what else we got here. Cheesehead said you need to get you a Macintosh, Craig, because the computer you got, those Macintosh, I hear they're pretty good, but I mean they're only good.
You can't run a simulator off a Macintosh.
You can't?
No, it's PC oriented.
No, that's why he's got.
Yeah. I'm a Windows guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Macintosh is good for not getting any viruses and things in it, but they can still hack it, you know.
Yeah,
you can hack anything, man. You can hack a Mac. But they are better computers from what I understand. If you can afford one, they're pretty expensive. Autumn Honecker, you must not have been watching the last podcast. She wants to know she's asking you, Craig, you know anything about Ed's book? Well, I went over that on the last podcast and talked about how I talked to Sharon, Ed's wife. And go back and watch that last podcast, and it's coming. That book is coming. And somebody else mentioned something else in here about that book too. PRRTTT says, bring Sally back on. She tells stories we want to hear instead of that jibber jabber. Well, I mean, we got lucky when she left a comment. she happened to be watching the podcast is how we got her. She left a comment, and then I contacted her. But yeah, it ain't easy getting guests on here. Man, you got a nice house, Craig.
How about that?
It ain't easy getting guests on here, right, Craig?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's feast or famine, and I need to do another on the road with Griff Martin, but I'm trying to save up for that because I want to do a big one. I want to do cross country. Maybe go out to Oklahoma. I'm looking at doing that and going checking out Steve Gaines where he grew up, because really not a whole lot about Steve Gaines.
Out in Oklahoma?
Yeah, we don't know. We know a lot about the guys from Jacksonville, but we need to do a focus on Steve Gaines, and I need to find some people that grew up with him, went to school with him, maybe go by and find out what neighborhood he grew up in and meet some people from Crawdad. I talked to Joe trying to get in touch with Moose, and that kind of fell out, but I'll get in touch with Joe again. But I'll start working on Steve Gaines.
Yeah, it's a shame Bob, his brother, passed away too.
Yeah, Joe and Bob were great friends. And Black Widow says, before Al Cooper died, which Al Cooper did not die, he did an interview where he mentioned he was given an advance copy of Ed's book and said it was the best Skynyrd book to date. I'll have to ask Sharon about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But no, Al Cooper's alive still.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's in his 80s. Pretty old.
I don't know. Yeah, it probably would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in his 80s. Well, you was around him quite a bit, weren't you, Craig?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Was he a pretty nice guy?
Oh, yeah. And Al was real cool, yeah.
Did he ever play any instruments? Did he jam with the guys at all?
Oh, he played Chicago. He played piano. He was a great guitar player. Played
Did
piano.
he sit in with the guys ever though and play with them? And
a little bit. Just
yeah.
Yeah, played piano and organ, and he played organ with. He started Chicago, the band Chicago, didn't he? I think he did.
I know he had something to do with them. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah, he's a good guy, man. Al Cooter, we called him.
Cooter, is that what you called him?
Yeah,
Did him and Ronnie got along pretty good?
yeah. He got along with everybody okay, yeah.
Well, he was a musician, so he kind of knew.
Yeah, he was legend. Yeah, he was a legend, man.
I mean, think about it, man. He's the one that discovered.
He played with Hendrix. God, he played with everybody, man.
If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have Skynyrd.
No, he discovered them, yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt that they would have ever been discovered by anybody else because, like Jimmy Johnson said, they were turned down by every record company there was. 9 of them, they turned flat. Not just turned them down, it was flat out, no, we don't want nothing to do with you.
Wonder why.
Now it's funny because now they're one of the most legendary bands that ever existed. And
yeah.
Nobody wanted anything to do with them. It's really odd.
But
Sally had a good ear. She said, man, I loved them right from the get-go. And I did too. As soon as I heard them, I goes, God, those guys, they're really good.
I remember that Second Helping album, man. That was a great, I love that Second Helping. But
Give Me Back My Bullets might be my favorite album. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just liked Ed King being in the band. I mean, I did like Steve Gaines, but I liked Ed King being in the band because he just gave it that little twist, and he had that. I think the way he put that chicken picking in, he was from out west, man. What was he doing chicken picking? That doesn't make sense, right? He's from out west, but I think he was kind of like sort of making fun of them, but using it to make the music better. But he's probably like, maybe they'll like this chicken picking being how they're rednecks or something, but he definitely had his own style. And then you were there, I guess, the day he stopped playing bass and started playing guitar, right?
No, I never
No?
saw him play bass, and it's kind of weird because Ed said I'm the worst bass player that there ever was. He said, but from certain stories he'd tell, he used to his history was kind of had a lot of bass involved in it, you know. So
I heard that he played bass kind of like he played guitar. It's almost like, you know, it was more playing it like a guitar
yeah,
than giving it, you know, those bass, you know, like not like Leon.
I never saw Ed play bass at all. I never saw that. Never saw him play bass.
Well, he's recorded playing bass and he do a damn good job. Jeff wants to know, would you read off some of the bong names out of your emails?
Oh God, I don't have. I did a Budmeiser and El Kabong.
Budmeiser.
Yeah. El Kabong and Budmeiser. Those were two. What was another one? Maybe.
I guess people kind of want to know where they stand as far as their, you know, it's going to happen. We're gonna give them away pretty soon. But
Griff's Roadie Rocket, Load Out, Bobby Burns, the Gym. Did somebody come up with that?
Oh yeah, the Gym.
And then
Craig's hitting the gym.
Yeah, and then somebody wrote Jim JYM or GYM. You know. Like,
yeah.
But there's there's quite a few.
Mike Neighbors says, what do you think of Bama Bong? Because it's bamboo and it's a bong, so it's Bama Bong. We'll know when we hear it, right, Craig? Steve Jones, we were talking about eating pizza, and Steve Jones says, you need to try tavern style pizza like they have in Chicago. I don't know what tavern style is.
I don't know. Chicago's
like a deep dish.
Deep dish pizza, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into that deep dish soggy crust. I like
my crust like a cracker crust on pizza. Yeah.
Like they do in Italy. That's how they do. That in Italy, they don't have that big old gobby pizza like that. Not from where I ate it at over there in Rome. It was like real thin and almost it did have a char on the bottom, but not much sauce, and had like a sliced tomato on there. And yeah, I can see Americans, they'll turn anything into something different. Like I knew a guy from Australia, and I was telling him, he goes, hey, where's a good place to eat? And I said, there's an Outback down there. And he goes, yeah, Outback. He goes, I never heard of a bloomin' onion until I came to the United States. So yeah, they don't have bloomin' onions over there. I think we made that up. And
oh, they say there's 1 million calories in a bloomin' onion.
Oh my God, man! I tell you what, I ate one of those after.
They are good though.
I had a colonoscopy, and I said, pull in right here. I'm hungry right now. And we went in there, and the lady goes, what do you want? I said, I need something to eat right now. I'm starving. I haven't eaten in 2 days. And she goes, well, I'll bring you a bloomin' onion. And I said, I don't know what that was. And so she brought that bloomin' onion. And oh man, that thing went right through me, Craig. That was bad. After a colonoscopy, you don't eat a bloomin' onion.
I used to like there's cheese soup they had there.
Yeah, they had some good. They're still around. I believe
they closed them down here, I think.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still have Outback here.
There might be one.
Old Brian Gibbons, the guy who came on that lost all that weight, he says he hopes that his appearance on the podcast made a difference to somebody. And
Oh,
then,
it did, yeah. Yeah, I think it made people think about it. You know,
Yeah.
that one guy said, you know, he had issues like Brian did. You know, he had a bad back and gained all that weight. And he goes, "You're right." He said, "That's what I blamed it on." And he goes, "No more though, no more excuses."
yeah, but I think he's got a monkey on his back about smoking. I think he might be smoking with him. But somebody mentioned that in the comments that they had a monkey on their back. Like Gene said, yeah, so I think he's got a smoking habit. That's a hard one to beat right there.
Oh, smoking's supposed to be the worst. Yeah.
Because the weight.
Well, they got
smoking,
stuff in. They hire chemists to find out that what drugs will addict you to those things. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what they do, man. People go, God, I wish I could quit smoking. Oh my God, I wish I could quit smoking. And I go, why don't you just quit? Oh, I tried. Oh,
Because if they do, they'll get fat.
you got to be kidding me, man. When I smoke, I never was addicted to cigarettes. It never made no sense to me. I only drank, I smoked when I drank, and when I quit drinking, smoking always was nasty, man.
Well, people say that smoking curbs your appetite.
It made me hungry. I don't
It
know.
did?
If I would have got up in the morning and smoked a cigarette, I'd have thrown up. I couldn't smoke until in the afternoon when I had a drink in me. I couldn't.
Yeah, I was about like you. I tried to smoke, but it just didn't agree
It
with
was
me.
nasty.
I was trying to have a habit of some kind, but I just I've never been addicted to anything. I don't, I don't know why, but I've never had any kind of something I have
Oh,
to
I was an
have it or-
alcoholic. I was kind of addicted to cocaine too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think cocaine's better than heroin, though. Cocaine, you don't have withdrawals from it, really. You know, you want it. You know, you just want it. That's all.
I can't say I don't have addictive personality. If I'd have had more money, I wouldn't be here. I'd be dead. Oh, I'm serious. I would.
That's why I was telling Craig. I said, "Man, if you sold your films, you could get quite a bit of money." And he's like, "No, I don't want to sell my films and I don't need any more money than I got. That'll just get me in trouble." Because
I already can't promise Tanner his films.
well, they're going to be worth a lot of money, one day, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's.
I'll put them out for put them out.
They really need to make a professional big screen movie about Lynyrd Skynyrd, not some bullshit B movie. They need one and get some big time movie stars in there playing, because that would be a great movie.
There's one person in particular I would insist on getting at least half. So there's that's gonna. I think there's been a couple of directors that have tried to do it, but there's a certain person that wanted so much involvement they just said, "Screw it, ain't worth it."
Didn't Ron Howard? Wasn't he looking at
Ron
it?
Howard and Cameron Crowe were both wanted to do a movie, but there's a certain person that wanted so much control of it, they just said, "Screw it."
Oh, yeah? Damn. Oh, shit. Well, maybe one day I'll get to see it.
That's what I heard anyways. That's, I can't say that's a fact, but that's what I heard.
Craig, you ever been to La Rosa's Pizzeria in Ohio?
The Roses?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what somebody's asking you here. If you'd ever been to, I guess we were talking about pizza last week.
We have supposed to be the best pizza place in all of Summit Stark County here. Giuseppe's is right down the road from me.
You ever see that guy that does that pizza review Portney. Name's Portney. He's that millionaire. I forget how he made all his money, but he does that Barstool pizza review. And he goes to all these pizza places and he gets a slice of pizza, or he'll get a whole pizza. They'll give it to him, and he does a review. And he's pissed some people off, saying their pizza sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's got he's pretty funny the way he talks about. He'll kind of rate the pizza, whether it's got a char on the bottom. He likes a football pizza. There's so many different kinds of pizzas. He's got this is a football pizza, and yeah, you have to watch that guy on the.
Some people say it's a sin to put pineapple on your pizza, but
I don't like it.
No, you don't?
No, not pineapple.
I like pineapple.
I like anchovies though.
I like anchovies. Yeah,
yeah. I think they I don't like a lot of them. And the only thing, a couple things on here. Susan McMaster was laughing about how I mentioned how Gene looked like a baby seal jumping on the front of my boat. Yeah, he was. I'll never forget that, because he was climbing on the boat and he was trying to push it off at the same time, and then he was flopping around on the front of the boat trying to turn over to get on his ass so he could stand up. And I wish I'd have videotaped that, but that would have kind of made him mad. And I haven't talked to Gene in a couple of weeks. I need to give him a call. He'll get on, like people like to hear stories from Gene. Gene, tell a story, and then Gene will be on Facebook and he'll say, here's a story, end of story. I'm going to bed.
Oh, before I think about it, dang it, I got a couple of donations came in.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, I forgot that one for 25 and one for
you got their names?
I forget. Damn it. No, it's over there. I'll just do them Friday.
Yeah, I'll write it down as a reminder.
I got to make up a sheet for them I don't want to forget that.
Yeah, we still accept donations.
I just remember the $25 was for Leslie.
Well, and then you said you got to get your bank account all straightened out before you.
Yeah. I was looking for my Excel sheet. Yeah, I'm gonna get that all together here and send those out. Yeah, I got to get it together and send everything out here. I know I've been saying that for a while, but
do you have everything? I'm
up to my ass in alligators. I'm gonna fight alligators today with eBay and try to get them situated. And yeah.
Have you got everybody's stuff boxed up, or you still have?
No, I got all the boxes and everything. I just haven't got it all.
Well, you always do a good job wrapping stuff up, and
I take my time. Right. Once I get it all laid out, I'll just get all the boxes and just fill them.
That's what Craig's boxes look like, when he sends you something.
I didn't send you that.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, that was the movies, when you sent me the movies.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I got a copy of Craig's movies. Every now and then, I'll stick them in a podcast. I'll ask him, I'll say, hey, Craig, do you want to show this? You want to show that? Maybe I'll stick a little something in there at the end of this one. I don't know.
Yeah, you got a copy of my movies watermarked.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it, Craig. Let's wrap it up, man.
All righty then. It's been another episode of the Stoned Roadie Show, and y'all have a safe 4th of July. And on Friday, we want to come back, and we don't want to find out any of you blew your hands off with fireworks, So
yeah,
y'all be safe out there.
And bring your dogs in too, because they'll get out there and then they'll get scared and they'll dig under the fence and then they'll get ran over by a car. So
My dogs don't give a shit about the
they
fireworks.
don't.
They
Yeah.
were we were laying in bed last night and they were blowing off fireworks all over, and my dog just laying there like nothing was going on.
That's that
Like,
indica.
I used to shoot guns around them a lot, so they're
Well, Craig, they
kind
they
of
they have the best weed in town, man.
well, yeah, they're probably stoned, but yeah, they don't give a shit about. Yeah, everybody was saying stuff about their dogs were freaking out because of all the
Yeah, they do.
fireworks, and yeah, my dogs could care less. That's funny.
They're in the couch.
Yeah, they don't give a shit, man. They just lay there, just laughing. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, it's been another episode of the Stone Roadie Show, and happy trails to you. See you later, alligator, at the wild crocodile, and that's a wrap, man. We're out of here.